Everybody want to go and buy his stuff before all stores close down, because by Friday afternoon the market is closed. So in Friday nobody come to pray. Why? Because Friday is going to be Saturday soon. So Muhammad, he had to make a special verse for a Friday prayer. Why the Muslims are not coming? I mean, why there's no problem in Thursday? The Muslim, they pray 5 times a day in the mosque, not only in Friday. These people, they think it's only Friday. No, they have to pray. It's better to pray Jama'ah, which means group, in the mosque 5 times a day. So why only Friday was a problem? Because in a Friday the Jews will shut down, and Muhammad was following the Jews. This is why Muhammad, he was praying toward Jerusalem. He is a Jewish puppy. He tried to imitate the Jews and to look like a Jew, to act like a Jew, but he's not, and the Jews refused him. If you ask the Muslims, Muhammad was praying to which direction before he prayed to the Kaaba? They will say to you, Jerusalem. Why? Why you are praying to Jerusalem and the Kaaba is next door to you? Do we have any Muslim want to say anything? Why he was praying to Jerusalem, and then why he ignored Jerusalem? Any Muhammadan? If we go in the Quran, you will find some verses speaking about those issues. Let us see. Let us show some reference so we can laugh together. And I changed any Muslim to give us an answer for those things. In chapter 2, verse 144, let us open the screen. We certainly saw you, Muhammad, often turn your face to the sky, okay. So we shall instruct you to face Qibla that you like. So at that time Muhammad was praying in which direction? Where he was? He was praying to India? All those years Muhammad praying to where? The Muslim, they will say to you, to Jerusalem. Now look here what it says. It's something very important. Very important. You know, usually when people read, they don't notice what is really important in the text. So we shall instruct you to face a Qibla that you like. This is the Muslim translation. In Arabic it says tardaha, which means you approve. That means the Kaaba is not holy. The Kaaba is not a holy place. But there is something happened made Muhammad like to pray to the Kaaba. What was that? If we go and check the hadith, we will find Muhammad, he was instructed by his boss, Umar ibn al-Khattab, to change the direction of the prayer. To do what? To change the direction of the prayer. It was Umar al-Khattab who changed from Jerusalem to Mecca. As you see, this is Sahih Hadith, so the Muslim cannot say this is fabrication. Umar, he said, Allah agreed with me in three things. Allah agreed with Umar. Umar. Who is the Prophet in Islam? Umar. Actually, Muhammad, he says, if there is a Prophet will come after me, it's going to be Umar. Umar, he said, I agreed with Allah in three things. Or, my Lord agreed with me in three things. Oh Allah. And etc. He count how many of them. Okay, what is exactly Allah he agreed with Umar? The divorce and the exchange of the wives of Muhammad, the hijab, and the Kaaba. Read it. The Kaaba, I said, O Allah Messenger, would that you took the station of Abraham as a place of a prayer? Who said that? Umar. Muhammad was not praying to the Kaaba. And here we go, Umar saying that Allah agreed with me. So Muhammad, the scam Muhammad, he took the advice of Umar. And he made a verse saying, Allah, he told me to pray to the Kaaba. But in fact, it was Umar. All those things you see in front of you, it was from Umar, including the hijab. And always when Muhammad, he want to make people follow something, he say Allah said that to me. When the fact, as you see, it was Umar who said that to him. And then you will find that the Quran came as I said, Umar, he said. Allah not only he take the words of Umar. No. Allah, he copied it. So the verses came down as I said. As I said. Why Allah he is taking the word of Umar as he said? Any Muslim can tell us? The Muslim, they say to us that nobody can make Quran like the Quran. And then we find that Allah copying Umar word by word. What do you think? Word by word. But Muslim, they say nobody can make Quran. And then we find that Allah taking the Quran from Umar word by word. Read with me. All of this reference, look. Look how many. Look how many. And here you see something very important. Anyone notice with me what is the last line in this hadith here? I will give you the link for this hadith. Do you notice the last line, guys? Anyone notice something really, really horrible? Do you? What do you notice? What is the problem there? Anyone notice the problem? So this verse came the same as I had said was revealed. The same what? The same what? The same I had said. But remember, nobody can make Quran. So Allah is copying Quran from Umar. So Muhammad the scam, he took what Umar said and he make a Quran, as simple as that. So the verse revealed the same as I have said. I mean, do you want more proof? So everything your prophet is a scam. Your circumcision is a scam. He's copying the Jews. Your salat is a scam. Your fasting is a scam. You know, Muhammad, he came, he said to the Jews, what is this? What you are fasting? What you are fasting? He said, this is the fasting when Moses, he crossed the sea. He said, oh, I am more close to Moses than you, and he started fasting it. No? What? So it's not Allah who told him to fast it. Have you ever heard of a prophet of God? He fasted just because he heard a Jew saying, this is when Moses crossed the sea. We fasted. What if the Jew is lying? Read carefully and love. The book of fasting, the day of Ashura. The day of what? Ashura. Now the Muslims are even confused about Ashura. They don't even know this is the day of the Jews or this is the day of the pagan. They are, you know, what a cult. Ibn Abbas said, Allah pleased with him, reported that Allah Messenger came to Medina. Medina, remember, the name of the Medina was not Medina. Medina is just a word, means city. Very silly name. It was Yathrib. Muhammad later, he changed the names. And many of you, they might say, how come Muhammad, he called himself the praised one, and there is many people, their name is Muhammad? My friend, those who converted to Islam and they used to have a name, don't agree with Islam, they force them to change their names. Just put that in your account. There's many people who after they convert to Islam, when Muhammad conquered them, he forced them to change their names. So he came to the Medina and he found the Jews observing the fast of the day of Ashura. They, the Jews, were asked about it and they said, it is the day which Allah granted victory to Moses and his people, children of Israel, over the Pharaoh, and we observe it, fast out gratitude to him. Upon this, the Messenger of Allah said, we have a closer connection with Musa than you. And then he command and observe the fast of that day. Do you see it? How you are a prophet of God? Shouldn't you receive an order from your God? Maybe this tradition is false. Maybe you should not do that. Shouldn't Muhammad wait for Allah to say to him, fast that day? This is fasting. This is not a joke. Just because the Jews are fasting that day, Muhammad, he make it a fasting day. And yes, Abi, this is a pagan day? The Muslims are confused. If you search for the word Ashura, like here it says the Jews were fasting, right? But if we search for Ashura, we will find that this is not the day for the Jews. Welcome to Islam. If I search right now, I will do this in front of you. If I take the word Ashura and I search it in the search engine, and remember, I was going to make the video short. I wasn't planning to come, actually. It's very cold. But why is not copying correctly? Let us try again. So we copy the word and we will post it in the search engine. All right. Read how many hadith about this day. He heard that Ibn Abbas, when he asked about the fast of Ashura, I said I did not know that the Prophet fasted any day because it's virtue, it's okay, except the day, meaning the month of Ramadan, and the day of Ashura. So Muhammad, he used to fast Ashura first, and then Ramadan came after. Muhammad, he said even Ashura can, even if you fast it, it can delete your sin, can erase your sin. The Messenger of Allah observed someone fasting on the day of Ashura and command to fast that day. Okay. Muhammad, later he changed his mind. The Prophet says whoever wishes may fast on the day of Ashura. What a prophet. Okay. All those hadith, and look what Muhammad said here about this day. The Messenger of Allah was asked about observing the fasting of Ashura. He said if you fast it, is going to erase the sin of the preceding year. Look how important it is. One day. Later the Muslim forget about it. Suddenly Muhammad, he came with Ramadan, which is coming from the Sabian, they fast Ramadan, and he canceled. This is why he's saying whoever wants, if you wish, fast it. But how it was, I mean, where Muhammad he got this information from? He just learned from the Jews to fast this day. If this guy, he learned that this day is a Jew fasting day, how he come to know that if you fast this day is going to erase your sin for the preceding year? You see the scam? Allah never told him to fast it. Angels never told him to fast it. He saw a Jew in the street. He says, oh, we are fasting. Why you are fasting? Oh, today the day Moses, he crossed the sea. Muhammad, he ordered him to fasting, and then he come with his own reasoning. He told them something from where? He himself, he learned about the fasting from the Jew. He himself, he learned that this day is a Jewish day. Then how he come to the conclusion that if you fast this day will erase your sin for the last year? And what kind of religion, if you fast one day all your sin for the last, so all what I need to do, I will be doing all kind of sin for non-stop for the last 365 days, and when the day come I will fast, and that's it, I'm clean. See how easy? Jamal Youssef is saying to me something. Okay, Jamal, let us show you what Jamal he said. Where is the word of Jamal? Where is the word of Jamal? Okay, thank you, Jamal, for the advice. Jamal Youssef, he cannot answer us, so he's upset. Smile, Jamal, we took a selfie for you. Jamal, he cannot tell us why Muhammad was praying to Jerusalem and then Umar, he changed it to the Kaaba, which means Umar is the one who made the Quran and Umar is Allah. Jamal cannot explain to us why fasting Ashura can erase the sin of the previous year when Muhammad, he just learned about it from the Jews. So what Jamal, he suggests to us? How about you get off your ass and follow your religion, go pray or something? Are you following your religion? You don't. If you follow your religion, you should not open a TV, you should not listen to music, you should not watch computer, should not be here, you should not use anything made by the kuffar, you should not eat their food, you should not, even the food, by the way, they say to you that the food of the Christians is halal. So why you are saying I won't eat halal food? If the food of the Christian is halal for you, why you go in the market buying halal food? If anything the Christian do is halal. Hypocrite people. So anyway, you pray, but you don't. You pray to who? If I ask you now, Jamal, you pray to who? You don't know. Who's Allah? I don't know. Who's Allah? You have no idea. I challenged Mr. Jamal if he would like to call me and tell me who is Allah. What do you think, guys? Do Jamal dare to call and just tell us who is Allah? You pray, okay, you pray to who? A God, he have two hands in the right shoulder. He have one shin. And he sit in a chair. Any other information? No, they are not Abrahamic. You see, this is the biggest fat lie. You hear it in TV. Yeah, you are watching too much Trump, my friend. This is in the movie of Trump and Israel, the peace agreement of Abraham. The fact is, Islam is not Abrahamic. What make Islam Abrahamic? Tell me. Did Abraham kiss black stones? Did he? Show us. Did Abraham, even the Muslim, they say that Abraham, he built the Kaaba. Can you prove that? Anyone knows how we can refute the lie which Muhammad and they repeat from Muhammad? They are victim of Muhammad. I feel sorry for them. How we can refute the lie of Muhammad that Abraham, he built or he raised the Kaaba, because the first one who built the Kaaba supposedly is Adam, and before him the angels. Anyone remember how we can refute this lie? If we ask Jamal, who is the one who built the Kaaba? Can you prove that Moses parted the sea? Well, you know, this is a good question. Can you prove that? So let me ask you the same question. How you believe in it then? I'm asking you about your religion. What is your proof? For me, even there is a scientific study. They say yes, in certain time the sea was in etc. place and then move, etc. So, but there's no camera at that time to record the event. So it might be true, it might be fiction, no problem. But you Muslims, you have no witnesses for anything. We have witnesses that Moses, there's a history written about Moses was in Egypt. We have history written about Moses came from Egypt. We have history about the whole nation was of Israel was in Egypt and run away from Egypt. What is the proof that Abraham was? Which historian report that? And now I'm asking you, if there is any historian reported that Abraham, he was in Mecca? Anyone? Do you know anyone? Nobody. So your Muslim stories, always Muslim stories, there is no witness for it. There is no witness, even there's Muhammad. Muhammad himself, who is Muhammad? If we read the Quran from the beginning to the end, who is Muhammad? Where Muhammad was born? Nothing in the Quran. Who is the father of Muhammad? Nothing in the Quran. Who is the mother of Muhammad? Nothing in the Quran. Which year he was born? Nothing in the Quran. Who is his grandfather? Nothing in the Quran. So what is in the Quran? Now I ask question, I say, do you know how we can refute the lie that Abraham, he built the Kaaba? Anyone remember? Anyone remember? If we read the Quran, chapter 2 speak about from 125, 127, etc. So in 125 it says, and remember the house, we made the house, the Kaaba, the center, the sanctuary of mankind, blah, 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 okay? It doesn't say really mankind, it says for people of the Arab. And then it says here that they took from the station of Abraham. Why the Kaaba was the house of Abraham? In Arabic here it says Maqam Ibrahim. Maqam is a place of living. Abraham was living in that house. So this is not the house of Allah. And if you ask Jamal and the Muslims, was Abraham a prophet? They will say yes. Okay, was Ishmael a prophet? They will say yes. Okay. Is Muhammad from Ishmael? They will say yes, which many Christians, because they are following naive priests, you know, in Christian churches, many dummy, they repeat that Ishmael is from, Muhammad is from Ishmael, because they are dummy. I remember Abraham, okay. I remember Ishmael, okay. What about them? Abraham and Ishmael is the one who raised the Kaaba, because Kaaba was destroyed by the flood of Noah. And there's a mountain, you know, next to the Kaaba in Mecca. He hid the black stone inside his belly. So when the flood is over, the mountain, he spit the stone out so Abraham can see it, and he put it back. So now, if you ask the Muslims, they will say that Abraham was there, Ishmael was there, and even Ishmael is the grandfather of Muhammad. So how you explain to me this verse? Let us read and love. Was Ishmael a messenger of Allah? They say yes. To who? They say to the Arab. He is the father of the Arab. But in chapter 34, verse number 44, it says, there was nobody before Muhammad as a messenger of Allah in Mecca. Read it and love. Read it and love. We did not send to them, who? The Arab, any book to study, nor a messenger to warn them before you. So how you say Abraham was there? Any Muslim? How you like yourself saying Abraham was there and Ishmael was there, and now this verse saying there's nobody before Muhammad came to the Arab and to Mecca specifically here? Obviously the Quran is a book of fabrication. Muhammad, he forgot what he said about Abraham in different verse. So if we go to chapter 2, verse 125, 126, 127, we will see that Abraham was there. And then from his seeds, supposedly are the Muslims. Because Abraham, he said, make us Muslims. And make our offspring should be Muslims. Okay. And the Muslim, they say that Abraham is the grandfather of Muhammad. Okay. So how this verse says there's no one before Muhammad to Mecca and to the Arab? Ahmad Ma'ruf, he's saying, show me a mistake. I mean, I'm showing you a mistake. So what I'm showing you, shish kebab? What I'm showing you, Ahmad Ma'ruf? Ahmad Ma'ruf is asking us to show you a mistake in the Quran. Everything in the Quran the Quran itself is a mistake. How Ishmael was there, how Abraham was there, how Adam even was there, how they warned the people to believe in Allah, and then the Quran says there's nobody was before Muhammad. He is the first warner. The Muslim, they say that Abraham have a book, Ishmael have a book. Where is the book of Ishmael? Hey Muslims, where is the book of Abraham? What happened? Where's it gone? I mean, all the books before Islam is gone. What's wrong with this God, Allah? Whatever books he sent, they fly? Okay. So Abraham have a book, Ishmael have a book, and Yet the Quran says there was nobody before Muhammad as a warner, and no books was sent to them. So the Christians who was living there, they are who? I mean, have you ever heard of a stupidity like this? The Christians who were living there, according to the Muslims, if those people there, they never have a book. So what the Quran says, we send the Isa, the Injil, and there's a Christians, and Khadija was the niece of Waraq ibn Nawfal, or the supposedly he is like her uncle from, like, you know, little bit far, which is here the real father of Muhammad, but he was a priest supposedly according to Muhammad. I mean, by the way, the Muslims, the funny thing about them, they say to you, there's no proof that Khadija, she was a Christian. So why you say that in your speeches when you try to fool the Christians? They go and when they speak to Christian, they say Khadija was a Christian, the first wife of the Prophet Muhammad. But in YouTube, they say, no, there's no proof. Well, we can prove that easy. You know, those people in YouTube, they are a bunch of dummies. Those who claim to have knowledge. Zakir Naik, he says, there's no proof that, you know, all of them. Didat, he said the same. But we can prove it in 2 seconds. Okay, Jamal, I will open Skype for you, my friend. Give me a few minutes. If you go in the Quran, in the Hadith, sorry. If somebody says to you that there's no way to prove that Khadija, she was a Christian, what do? You go to this Hadith. When Muhammad received the Quran from the angel Jibreel, and the angel Jibreel squeezed him 3 times and no mayonnaise came out. And then Muhammad, he came at home and he could not find an answer for what happened. He didn't know what happened. He's scared. He's terrified. The hadith described that. He was shaking. He was freaking out. He cover me, the thiruni. So Muhammad was freaking out. And then what Khadija, she did? Khadija, she took him from his hand and she took him to Waraq ibn Nawfal. See, he came scared, terrified, cover me. And then Khadija, he said to her, oh Khadija, what's wrong with me? Muhammad, you are crazy, you are mentally ill. This is what's wrong with you, you saw nothing. Then he told her about what happened to him. And then he said, I fear that something may happen to me. Muhammad, he lost his mind. Khadija said, never, but I have a glad tidings, for by Allah, he will never be disgraced. And then she took him to where? She accompanied him to Waraq ibn Nawfal, the priest. So when they say Khadija was not a Christian, according to them, and by the way, she is not a Christian, she is Nasara. It's a Christian cult, like Jehovah's Witnesses. So she was not a Christian cult. So if she is not Christian, why she take him to the Christian priest? You know what I mean? I mean, you have your husband have a problem. And what do? You take him to the Christian priest? Do you understand what I'm saying? You take one of your family to a priest if you are a Christian. And he himself have to be Christian too. Otherwise, how even Muhammad agreed to go with her to someone is a Christian? In this case, it was Nasara, which is a Christian cult. Let us open our Pal Talk for Mr. Jamal, so like he like to call us.